Welcome everyone, I am John Ryan, and please subscribe to the channel. We're growing leaps and bounds, about 450% in just the last 2 weeks. I'm very pleased with that, and thank you very much for those of you who have taken the time to subscribe. I must be doing something right, and I appreciate it very much, and I'm going to keep trying to do things right here on the Predictive Playbook sports betting channel. So let's get right to it, shall we? We're going to take a look at a baseball game. It is on the Thursday night card, and I like this one quite a bit. We're going to bet on home underdogs using the money line. Our dog is coming off a shutout loss, which is never good, right? Looking for a bounce back. And our dog averages 0.5 or fewer errors per game. In other words, a half an error per game, and they're a very good fielding team as a result. Errors is what causes teams to lose many games, even at the Major League Baseball level, and we're going to see it more so in the Little League World Series. And by the way, there is betting odds on the Little League World Series, and I think this Texas team is something special. I also like the Rhode Island team. I think they are, just for pizza money. You're betting on 11 and 12-year-olds here, so let's keep it in perspective. But it might be fun just to back the team from your region too, to give them some, just support. If anything else, it's gonna force you to want to see the games even more than you probably already do. Anyway, our dog averages 0.5 or fewer errors per game, 98 and 90, a 127 wager. So this is another one of those blackjack systems I've been mentioning, where based on this record, if you went to a casino and played 188 hands of blackjack, and you won 98 of them, and you were betting $100 per hand, with the exception of winning blackjack at 3-2 odds, you would win $800 and leave pretty happy. But in this particular case, wagering 127 and getting that much back, instead of you're getting 27% more back following this betting system than you would at any casino, and that adds up over 188 hands of blackjack, or 188 placed bets on a dog of averaging 127. So what we have here is a situation that produces an 18% ROI over the last 7 seasons. If the previous loss was by 5 or more runs, the record goes to 50 and 34 for a plus 129 moneyline wager and a 39% ROI over the last 7 seasons, and the Cardinals lost by more than 5 runs last night. And I like the Cardinals here quite a bit. We have a veteran on the hill in Adam Wainwright. Granted, he's not the same guy as before, but this situation, I think we're going to see a lot of runs by the St. Louis Cardinals. And, here's a situation. I did this with some of my friends. They asked who I had last night, and they texted me and said, any player props? And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I did say to take Trey Turner and Bryce Harper to hit a home run, and sure as heck, Harper hits a home run. In fact, he hit 2. And he's a guy to put on your radar when the Phillies play, and he's coming off a game where he had no hits, for example, which doesn't happen very often. But he bounces back in a big way, and now the exit velo is up near 110 to 115 miles per hour. Both home runs were over 420 feet last night. So he's one to keep on your radar. And simply with this bet, look at the Cardinals lineup tonight when the lineup card is produced, and just pick a guy who hasn't hit a home run in a while or hasn't hit a double in a while, and take a shot at it. It's pizza money, right? It's not going to kill you if you lose 3 pizza money bets, but I think that's a pretty good thing to do. So that's the Major League Baseball bet for the day. And like I said, I like this one quite a bit on the Cardinals to bounce back and get a win over the terrible New York Mets. Now, I want to show you one thing here, and apologize for having to promote, but I got to pay the bills, right? So we started this new product. I have over 5,000 betting systems and algorithms in my vast database, and believe me, it's huge. It goes back to 1882 in baseball, for example. So I've taken 500 of them and optimized them into like a 401k portfolio, so that every single aspect of the game is considered and is weighted appropriately, just like you would a stock portfolio, and just like I learned when I had my 18-year career on Wall Street as a chief currency strategist. So of these 5,000, we're picking 500 And this is for all sports. It's a across-the-board portfolio, and you're going to grind out the profits. Now this, as you can see, $10,000 bankroll. If you started this, you'd be up $134,765 betting $400 per game on the 8-unit best bets. I hope that made sense. If you have any questions about that, just send me a note. I can show you actually a spreadsheet that's just monstrous in size that does show every single game of these systems. It won't show the system, but it will show every single game that was produced and why it's optimized and why it made this much money. So I hope you take advantage of this. And this is a separate product away from my regular premium stuff, which is doing excellently well too. Let's take a look at the football card. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't talk about, the other experts in the industry, and I thought I would actually, is you can plan ahead. Like many games already on the card, I have circled. And the reason I can do that now is that the Circa and a few other places have put out lines for every single game of every single week during the regular season. This creates monstrous opportunity for us, especially if you're following me and my premium picks. But initially, we can identify 4 different games on the Monday Night Football card and wait until the previous week to see if they win or lose, and then make a decision on whether we really want to jump on this team or not. So look at the situation here, and it makes total sense to me. It's very simple. Bet on a road team playing on Monday Night Football. The road team is from the Pacific time zone, traveling to a host that's on the East Coast. We always talk about distance and travel. Seattle this year is going to lead the NFL by far in miles flown, so keep that in mind too. Another thing that you can do, and I'll present that in another show, is determine how many miles they're going to fly, and that's a factor. It is a big factor, especially when you get into weeks 12 and beyond. Travel fatigue is huge, and it is significant. And we'll see that on another show. But this record right here, 16-9 against the spread for 64%, that's pretty darn good. And the under as well. So this gives you a gauntlet of opportunity to bet the live in-game betting strategies that I presented. What I'm going to do on this is I'm betting on these games no more than 50% pre-flop. I may only do this 25% because some of these games are out at the midway point of the season, and we're going to have vastly different lines by then. Especially if a team is outperforming, we're going to get a more expensive price, but so be it at that time. We'll make that decision to add or not, at that time when the game is going to be played. So now if the team is off the loss, look at that. 8-2 under, 8-2 against the spread, 80%. Okay, great system, right? But who the heck is it on? I have that for you too. Week 3 is the first one, Rams, Bengals. The Rams are an 8-point underdog at Cincinnati with a total of 47. Their week 2 game, the Rams will be home against the 49ers. They're a 5.5-point dog. The total has not yet been posted. But it's safe to say the Rams are probably going to lose that game, I would think. It would be pretty shocking at this point that the 49ers would lose outright, even though they have to go on the road to play the Rams. The Rams are a rebuilding franchise. Not too many expectations on them this year. So if they are coming off a loss, that would put the Rams into an 80% situation against the Bengals on Monday Night Football. Could you imagine if the Rams upset the Bengals in Week 3 on Monday Night Football? Well, here we go. These are the situations that we're identifying now, so we're prepared. Preparation is the key to any professional sports bettor. What the key for a professional surgeon that's going to do surgery on you and repair your knee? Do you want him to be fully prepared and fully knowledgeable, or are you just going to wing it and hope that he can read the step-by-step process of doing an ACL correction? I think I'm making the point pretty good. You can look at these other games too here. I'm not going to belabor the point, but every one of these, Seahawks home versus Panthers, the Seahawks then have to go to the Giants, and it would be a play on the Seahawks. So, the Seahawks are going to be 2 and 49.5. And again, I'll just show you the system here. So it is counterintuitive to what you probably have been hearing over the years. that, oh, travel team from the Pacific to the East and East to the Pacific are bad situations. Well, here the market tells you that they have overreacted the pricing in these situations. And now this year I plan, and I hope you do too, to exploit it to our advantage. That's the whole idea, right? All right, so then we have, what else do I have here for you? We gave out the Cardinals. Oh, and here's a special deal for watchers of the show only. I'm not sending this out to anyone else. I think this is a great way, if you've never had my service and you're going to be a first-time subscriber to my service, you can get the rest of August for free, and then you pay for September at 60% off the regular price, and it comes out to $200 or $199, we'll call it. And you get every single play of every single sport. You've seen the records that I had attained here this current year and how well CFL is doing. WNBA is hitting 69%. Baseball is at 69%. The 10-unit best bets are hitting at 68% across all sports and spanning more than 3 years. Even though we lost last night, I had the Miami Marlins. They got trounced. They did come back to make it 6-5. Then Houston scored 6 runs in the next inning, and the game was over. That's my point. Is these 10-unit plays hit 68% of the time. That means they lose 32% of the time, and you just don't know really when those losses are going to occur, or when you get on a win streak and win 5 in a row, or whatever the case may be. You got to grind it out and take each one as it comes and be disciplined with the betting amount, betting the same amounts every single time. And I think my track record of excellence is pretty darn good, humbly stated, and I think you'll have a great chance of making some money just in the rest of August and September, and you only have to put up $199 to get every single play, including the 10-unit max bets. So that's my promotion for today. And let's keep in mind those NFL football games. Speaking of which, I have one going tonight. I have 6 8-unit best bets. I have one in the NFL, one in CFL, one in the WNBA, and 3 in Major League Baseball. So you can get those as well for just $50. And since you're watching this game, I don't usually guarantee these picks, but I'll guarantee them. If they don't make you a net profit, you'll get the next 3 days all access for free. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. And until then, always remember to bet with your head, not over it, and may all the wins be yours.